The 6th day arrives, after that night of the previous episode, and Ren Kagami wakes up from the beautiful morning rays.
I slowly sit up, stretching and yawning. Man, that was such a good night. I get up, doing all the daily necessities. Then I head to the training grounds. I go there to train against a dummy that can fight back. Sure, I had the week off, but that's no excuse to laze over during that time.
The training bot turns on and it immediately goes for the first attack, punching him.
My quirk automatically reflects the attack, which destroys the bot easily. Alright, enough quirk training. It's clear that that's already good. I press a button on the wall, which brings out a physical combat training dummy. I go sparing against it, blocking its punches with my arms and sometimes dodging them. I do a spin kick when I get an opening, making the dummy crash into the wall.
I suddenly show up from behind him. Seems we've got ourselves a really sweet baby over here.
Ah, where'd you come from? I ask, startled by her sudden presence.
From the entrance, obviously.
I didn't hear anyone, though.
I hovered in. It's quite tiring walking around when I have projects and babies to make, so I have to hover around to conserve energy.
Wait, make babies? What does she mean by that? I didn't know that stuff around here was allowed. My face flushes just thinking about it. My quirk automatically redirects the psychological attack back at her, making her feel embarrassed instead.
Let me explain why his quirk works for this time, and not for the time when he was startled. Thing is, Reverso didn't have his quirk on automatic when he was training, and so after Hatsumi startled him, he put it back on. But the reason why his embarrassment redirected back at her was due to it being a mental attack, even if it wasn't intentional.
My face flushes instead, but I simply drink water to cool myself down. Whew, don't know what happened there all of a sudden. I say, wiping my forehead.
Oh yeah, she's denser than dense as well for certain things.
Anyways, what are you doing here?
I heard about you and was curious about your quirk. It only redirects, so you can't use it for mobility.
True. Did you have anything that could help?
Sure thing. I practically fly him like a kite to my lab, where I quickly build together a utility belt. This baby will help you maneuver around.
Ooh, that's what she meant by her babies. Now I feel like an unintentional pervert just thinking she meant that in some other way. Huh, did you get this idea from those comics about a bat?
Sure did. I read them for research purposes, since he has lots of tech and gadgets at his disposal.
I look at the utility belt. I do have issues getting up places and catching up to villains. And I do have to rely a lot on transport vehicles, which eat up a lot of my monthly wages. Who knows, maybe these will not only help me be more efficient when taking down villains, but also help me with keeping my money? Yeah, these will do just fine.
I walk in. Reverso.
I turn to look at him. Yeah?
We've got trouble. A villain whose quirk doesn't allow us to get close to. His quirk allows him to create an omnidirectional shield that acts as a trampoline for anything. The villain is currently being chased down by a few police cars after having robbed a bank.
Understood.
Alright, so then these are the functions of said utility gadget. I explained to him the ways to use this and how it works.
Let's explain that while Reverso is going against this chase. The cops are chasing the villain, and a few moments later, one of them sees a shadow of a figure above them.
This utility belt can shoot out special suit-armored projectiles that will go on the heels of your shoes, allowing for quick access to good momentum. They will only work, though, for better parkouring, as they cannot support your full weight.
I bounce off each building, easily going as fast as the cops. For each time I bounce off a building with one foot, I use another foot to bounce off the other.
The villain makes a turn to the left on a four-way intersection, not losing any momentum.
I narrow my eyes at this. It's either fail or bail. I run on the side of the building.
Oh yeah, when you're bouncing between buildings, for the sharp curved turns, there are gauntlets that are on the side of the belt. Those are for your wrists. You put them in, and there will be a trigger inside. When you pull that, a grappling hook will come out, allowing you to grapple onto things. The speed of it is 80 miles per hour, and it goes 10 miles long. It's light and durable, perfect for moving around. Of course, it'll be useful for other things. For nerds, y'all can analyze this.
I grab a traffic light post with the grappling hook, running off the edge of the building, and letting the grappling hook yank me fast to the left, easily letting me catch up to the villain. Then, I just have the grappling hook return to the gauntlet.
The villain sees Reverso easily make it to the left.
Chot, damn brat. I make a turn to the right on another four-way intersection.
I do the same thing for that turn, but for the right. I put the gauntlets back in the utility belt as I continue bouncing on each building.
Damn it, I can't lose them. I push the pedal to the metal, not caring who gets in my way.
Shit! He's gonna hit those civilians.
Oh yeah, if you ever need to protect civilians on the fly, then these barrier devices are a good way to do. Not only do they protect civilians and give out their own oxygen, they also help officers and heroes nearby by giving them their location signal.
I quickly throw the devices near each civilian, solo or grouped together, to help protect them.
The moment the devices land, they erect a barrier that's breathable and impenetrable on the outside. Well, not really impenetrable, just so hard to break through it's considered impenetrable. The camera goes into an alleyway facing towards the street where you can see Reverso gradually making his way to the villain. Then the camera turns around, revealing a hooded figure that seeps back into the darkness.
I catch up to Reverso in my vehicle, speaking to Reverso via comms. Reverso, keep the casualties and damage to a minimum.
I speak back through the comms back at him. Kinda hard to do that when I can't even catch up.
Great. So in other words, this is a race against time for many civilians and for us. I say as I drive faster.
This should slow them down. I shoot down a billboard that was on top of the roof of a building, which makes it topple downwards. I simply use that to help me drive away easier.
Shit! This guy really wants us off his trail.
I say through comms. Reverso, do not worry. We'll continue chasing down the villain. You just focus on saving those people below.
Roger that. I see the people down on the ground are running around, screaming for their lives. I grab onto the pieces with my grapplers, carefully placing them down onto the ground, or more specifically onto the road.
Reverso gets all of them, but there's one too heavy for the grapplers, a metal beam that falls down its way towards a little kid.
Oh no! I use one extra strong boost downwards, and I manage to grab the child. I don't have enough time to run away, so I simply protect him with my back. Once the beam hits me, the back of it bends instead, with its momentum gone. So there's one more issue my quirk doesn't fix. I am stuck under it now, but I do manage to get the child out.
The mother grabs her child, thanking Reverso while getting away.
I see from my side mirror that Reverso is stuck under a pillar. Damn it.
No way it ends like this. No way. I muster all of my strength, and I just manage to get out of there. Damn it. Now I have to catch up once more. I grapple onto a traffic light, and I use it to help me up with momentum. Basically, I did the thing you can do in Batman Arkham Knight for more mobility.
I suddenly make a sharp turn into the forest.
I notice this and don't hesitate to bounce into there, going on foot once I lose momentum from the bouncing.
I break the car outside of the woods with the cops. Damn it, didn't think they'd consider that route.
I bail out of my car while it's at high speeds, and the car falls off a tall cliff. I run away from the spot.
I get to that spot, looking down at the wreckage. Is he dead? No, he wouldn't die like that. I go walk to my left, the same direction he went. A while later, I run into a river. I walk through the river, and suddenly, the villain pushes me down, grabbing my throat and forcing my head underwater. My quirk automatically activates, having the villain drown instead of me, which also helps me not drown. I kick the villain away from me, getting up with my head all wet. Well, at least I found you again.
You won't capture me, hero.
I've been meaning to ask, what's your name?
Like I'd tell you, I charge straight at him.
I let him, and the camera from my right side angle, the villain bumps into me, but is redirected and is pushed back with the same amount of force, leaving me completely unharmed.
I crash into the water, making the water crash outwards of me.
I crash through the wave of water, pinning the villain down. Gotcha! I punch him in the face, knocking him out unconscious.
Once we make it to the river, thanks to the transmitter in Reverso's utility belt, I see that Reverso has already taken down the villain. Good work. Care to tell me his name?
I finished dragging the villain out of the river. Sorry Aizawa, sir. He wouldn't give me his name.
Figured it wouldn't be that easy. All right. We'll let the authorities handle it.
Right. I hand him over to the authorities.
Let's head back. I walk towards the exit to this forest, hands in pockets.
I follow him. Next up, Omnipotent by Text, Reverso, Season 1, Episode 4, Numerous Crimes.